Good day, my name is Jeanelle Kelly and I'm a quarantine officer here at the Department of Agriculture. Myself and Honourable Samal Duggins, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, we would have attended the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, the ministerial meeting, which was entitled Challenges for America's Agriculture in the Face of the Climate Crisis. This meeting was held over the period 22nd to 23rd September 2022 in Costa Rica. Now, the objective of the meeting was to promote dialogue of agriculture at a high level, and that would be for the Americas to reach an agreement for action against climate change. It was really a sensitization meeting for high-level decision makers about the role of agriculture that it plays in the climate change scenario globally. Some topics that were discussed included agriculture under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and sessions also included towards COP27, which is this year's Conference of the Parties and beyond. And finally, it wrapped up with sessions on finance and investments for the transition. Also, we would have been able to take an open door tour of ICA, where we were able to see different digital technology applications that were being employed at the time. For example, we were able to see the FarmBot, which was really an apparatus that could actually transition and just actually do watering for an exact plug of a plant. So that was really very interesting. Agriculture is usually characterized as a major part of the climate change problem, where it currently generates between 19 and 29% of the total greenhouse gas emissions. However, St. Kitts and Nevis, the Caribbean, and the Americas at large contribute very minimally to these figures. Greenhouse gas emissions are caused usually by burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas. Particularly, the main culprit is carbon dioxide. We also have methane emissions, which you usually get from livestock waste. Also for agricultural soils that emit nitrous oxide, partly due to use of fertilizers. And then this is why soil health and integrated soil management practices become so important. There are issues such as deforestation, water management, climate smart agriculture, and reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, which really need to come to the fore, especially in the context of small island developing states, SIDS, where our resources are minimal, so we need to work together to find sustainable solutions to our collective challenges, for example, carbon sequestration. Now, data collection is also pivotal to providing evidence-based decision making. And as I said, we need to access technical assistance to build our capacity in this particular area. St. Kitts and Nevis, actually, we have engaged and embarked on a climate smart agriculture project. It's in the proposal stage at this point in time, and it was just recently actually submitted at the end of September 2022 to the Green Climate Fund. So we're hoping to get funding in that particular area so we could advance our climate smart initiatives within the Federation. Now, St. Kitts and Nevis, during the ICA meeting, we would have supported the call to move from science to action. We would have prioritized actionable points, and we would have emphasized the diversity of our regional agricultural landscape. The meeting was a special opportunity to highlight agriculture's voice on the global stage in the climate change discussion, and we welcome the dialogue. We must be cognizant that the proposed solutions must include sustainable financing mechanisms that support sustainable production practices and inclusion in national development plans for climate action. The Ministry of Agriculture confirmed our continued support to advance agriculture in the climate smart action discussion. We must thank ICA for their excellent work, which helps to foster collaborations among decision makers and technical staff, and the lead role that they have taken in climate smart awareness in the agriculture sector. Ms. Sharon Jones, our local ICA technical specialist, has really been instrumental in helping the Ministry of Agriculture to meet our national development goals in this particular sector. The dialogue at this particular meeting would have been quite useful. It was a high level type of forum. So the decision makers, such as ministers, deputy ministers, and permanent secretaries, for example, would have attended this meeting. So it really brought home the point to the decision makers that climate smart agriculture is an initiative that we need to really take on board now and not wait until later. I think one of the colleagues in the region, he described agriculture as the suspicious guy in the neighborhood. And that really hit home for me because agriculture is being tied to a lot of the greenhouse gas emissions. And while that does happen in our context in the Americas, it's really very minimal. So we really need to take account of what we're doing. We need to really engage in data collection, which is very important to log and catalog our greenhouse gas emissions. So we have evidence to show that we really have low emissions because we really need to rebrand agriculture as a low carbon emission sector.